everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Paranormal with my dog. We'll pop in every once in a while. But anyways, we are your hosts. I'm Rachel, and that is
Kaz.
And for those
I don't have a phantom dog appearing out of nowhere.
No, I just have a random nose that
just
pops
me.
in every now, and then she just wants to be part of it tonight.
I love it. She's always welcome. I keep saying she should come on investigations.
She might be an investigation soon enough.
Oh no. We'll summon you back.
She's had a long life. God knows what's going on inside of her.
Well,
yeah.
Anytime she wants to come back as a ghost pup, that's fine.
You sure you want that?
Yeah. At your house.
Dog fur everywhere.
Oh, that's true.
So for those of you who are listening, this is now going into the first full week of school because, well, we're recording this the day before school starts. Another new year, another God knows
just
what.
Like that.
I know. Ridiculous. So ridiculous. I don't know how summer went by so bloody fast.
It always does. But what an amazing summer.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I mean, 2 completely different months. July was insanely hot and dry. And then August has been like fall.
Yeah, I don't like it. Actually,
No.
It's going to be like 25, 26 according to the weather for the next couple days. But then the weekend's going to come and it's going to be like 19.
Yeah, at night it goes down to like 10, especially where I am. So I'm like, whoa.
It's gross.
It's gross. Well. I'm getting to use, we have this really nice little outdoor fire. Like propane, relax everyone. I'm not burning stuff. And it's really nice. We haven't used it that much. So now I get to sit out there with it. It's great. So silver lining.
Hanging my clothes on my porch because my dryer died.
Well,
good thing they were just towels.
That's very true. Half of my sheets are still in my washing machine that is broken down because we have not been able to open the door.
Doesn't it have like an emergency release or something?
So we tried to do it, but because it's half full of water still, it won't unlock.
Oh.
And yeah, so
you can't manually drain it?
No, something has. So Mark pulled it apart. Bear with us, everyone. Just listen to our dilemmas. So Mark pulled it apart and like got the drain and he started siphoning water out, but I don't think it was enough to trigger the switch to tell the door to unlock. And he's like, I really don't want to pull this apart to try and unlock it when we can just get someone to come in and do it. Yeah. Because it might be something quote simple-ish, and if he gets in there starts pulling it apart and the guy's like, well, now you fucked up the phalangical medangical, and so whatever. So it's just easier. And I got to go to a laundromat and I felt like a complete snob because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, I have money, but why can't use it? Yeah. Like completely, oh my gosh.
The joys, the joys. But anyways, this week's topic has nothing to do with washing clothes.
No.
Or any of that.
It did make us seem like we were kind of from the early 1900s / pioneer time. So it was a bit of a segue in. There you go.
Hanging laundry outside to dry.
Exactly. I should have got a mangle and done it out in the pond.
Oh my God. Yeah, you should have.
I know. I didn't get on the bandwagon fast enough.
The stuff you think of now. Anyway, today's podcast is all about the Lynde House Museum in Whitby.
Yes.
So the Paranormal Seekers got to investigate this really awesome museum. Oh, Artie, don't put yourself on the thing. Back in May of this year, so 2025. And it's been on our radar for quite a while. It's just, COVID and all that kind of put a stick in everything. So we finally got to go in it and investigate. And it was absolutely fabulous because it's been on my radar since I was probably like 12.
Yeah, and you can tell everyone why in just a second.
What?
But it was one of those where I don't know that we had an expectation really. To be honest, I was like, it's probably not going to be all that exciting. It was so exciting.
No,
It
I
was like
know.
one of our best, well, not best, but it was such a great investigation, and we had a lot of stuff happen.
I know, we sure did, and it shocked the shit out of me. But yeah. So that's not the
Yeah.
only thing that shocked the shit out of me, anyways. So yeah, so for those of you who don't know, the Lynde House Museum is currently on Brock Street in Whitby, Brock Street South, I should say,
Mhm.
at the park. And well, it wasn't always there. It was actually located before that at Cullen Gardens and Miniature Village, and it had a ton of animatronics on the inside, and I can still hear certain ones, and it was, yeah, they still have them, but they don't work.
What do you mean you could hear them? Like the mechanisms, or they actually
No,
spoke?
like no, they made noise. Like the
Oh
lady
my
rocking
God.
the baby would hum, and you would hear the baby making like the cooing noises. And they had an animatronic cat that sat on the bed and flicked its tail, and it would like purr and make noises. And then, of course, the ones that were in the closet playing hide and seek were like, "You can't find me." And yeah, that was kind of creepy.
What the absolute F? Was this like a secret house of horrors? Because
No, it was an
the
amazing
girl
house of
in
history.
the girl in the closet was still there, but she didn't move. Thank God.
Yeah.
But why on earth? Okay, this is like, is this 90s-ish?
80s, 90s, yeah.
Okay, that's why. Because where I lived in England, down on the seaside, we had this animatronic clown in a big glass, let's call it a coffin, and you could put money in, and this thing would go, oh, 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 and laugh and like move, okay? But the one that we had was broken. What was that? Something ghost in my house. The one that we had was broken, and so it would just bang its head on the glass and be like, what was with the 80s/90s that they were like, I know what we should do. Let's terrify the shit out of a generation of children.
Listen,
But look at us now. We're the
these
best generation.
animatronics though, like these animatronics were like amazing for the time period. Like you thinking like, oh, like they were like super realistic, and they were like
Yeah.
super like good. Like, but yeah, but that's just me.
Yeah. So super scared. Just because they were realistic does not mean they were okay. It just means they were even more horrific. Come
And
on, kids.
oh Lord. But anyways.
Don't wake the baby.
Oh Lord. But anyways, let's do a little history. Let's do a little history. So the Lynde House is the oldest house in Durham region. It really is. So it was originally located on a large 200-acre farm beside the Lynde Creek on Dundas Street, Whitby. So for those who don't know Whitby, that's pretty much Highway 2. So, and I'm pretty sure I call it, his name is probably like Abez, but Jabez, so it's Jabez. So Jabez Lynde immigrated from Massachusetts to Whitby. First with his father-in-law, and then he went back and then brought his wife with him. So his wife's name was Clarissa, and that was around 1803. Now, the Lyndes were some of the first settlers in the area. They were a progressive couple who wanted to create a culture of education, industriousness, and entrepreneurial spirit.
Okay.
So, of course, when they first arrived, they had a small home, but they quickly outgrew it. So they started to build this current home, which is the Lynde House today, and that was completed in about 1811. It was modeled after the Lynde family home, which was called Malden, and that was in Massachusetts. So they kind of like modeled it after the home that they were living in Massachusetts. So Jabez Lynde was a loyalist, and he served in the militia during the War of 1812. During that time, because Canada was part of that, the Lyndes did open their home at that time as an inn, a tavern, and a supply depot where the British militia First Nations militia and citizens could secure supplies on their way to battle in Niagara.
Nice.
I know. I should also mention too that those who were wounded in Niagara also made their way back up this way and would return to that house where assistance would be provided to them by two doctors, a Dr. Lee and a Dr. Powell.
Did anyone die?
Maybe, I don't know.
Hmm.
So during that time, Clarissa recruited the help from neighboring women to help her cook and to help her nurse the wounded, because they were nurses technically back then. But anyways, after the War of 1812, so the Lyndes did raise 8 children in that house. They raised, and those were Sylvester, Hawkins, Clarissa, Louisa, Carlton, Araminta, Warner, and Elmina.
These names.
I know. There's no Elizabeth in there or Mary.
Well,
It's amazing.
it's like Mary, Michael, Elizabeth.
John, William.
Yeah. Good for them.
But members of the Lynde family did live in the house till 1893. Like I said, the house was originally located on Dundas, but it was moved twice. So it was moved in 1986 from its original location to Cullen Gardens, like we were just talking about. And then in 2013, when Cullen Gardens shut down, it moved to its permanent home at the corner of Brock and Burn Street in Whitby. So out of the whole Lynde family, Elmina Lynde, the youngest and last surviving family member, when she died, she did leave the house to the All Saints Anglican Church. So the house was left to a church, but the church was just like, this is too far from the center of town for the church to be using it. So they sold it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there. If anyone has an old home that they want to leave, I've got a couple of acres that I would gladly.
Trying to start.
You got an old haunted house? Yes. I don't care about a pioneer village. I just want some old houses on my property. Okay? Is that too much to ask?
Jesus, that's hilarious. But anyways, so once Elmina had passed, in 1894, the house and 60 acres were purchased by Barbara Hayden, and the remaining 40 acres were sold to Lawrence Hayden, which was her brother, and that was on March 8th, 1895. Then in August of 1920, the property was purchased by a William Henry Ballston, and then he had rented the farm from the Haydens for a number of years before, so he just bought it when they were selling it. That's that one. But during his time as the homeowner, he did suffer a lot of financial difficulties, and this happened because of the Great Depression. So in 1932, he sold some of his land behind the house to John Jeffrey Burns, who created a mushroom farm and a series of concrete buildings. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, during this period of time, the land to the west of the house was sold to the British American Oil Company. Yeah. Fun time.
See?
So in 1939, the mushroom farm was taken over by a man by the name of Harry Arnold. And for many years, he operated a meat market in Toronto, or what they called Pickering Farms. So the former Lynde property was also called Pickering Farms, and they used it to raise sheep and cattle, and it included a slaughterhouse.
Okay.
Yep. However, Mr. Arnold lived in Pickering, but he rented the Lynde house to farm laborers.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
this is still where it was originally located?
But this is all the house and the property, right? Okay. So in August of 1839, Harry would then sell the Lynde property to Pickering Farms Limited, which is a landholding company owned by Loblaws.
Oh.
I know. At this time, the house was then divided into 3 apartments, which included the upstairs and downstairs of the main house and the rear wing. The conversions to apartment caused a lot of alterations to the inside of the house. Obviously, they had to add bathrooms and kitchens to different areas. They removed fireplaces. Already watch this now. The main staircase was removed, and then the outside was just treated with stucco. Then in December of 1968, the rear ring was destroyed by a fire, which was apparently caused by faulty wiring. That part of the house was demolished in 1969. So in 1972, Loblaws then would donate the house to the Whitby Historical Society, that with a condition that within a year it would be moved off the property. So in June 1972, the Whitby Historical Society opened the museum as the Lynde House Museum, but they were unable to raise money to move the house. And then a number of years started passing, but the museum was still in operation. So Loblaws didn't care at that point. Yeah. In 1985, Len Cullen of Cullen Gardens and Miniature Village made an offer to move the house to Cullen Gardens. And then the building would continue to be a museum run by the Historical Society. Some did not want it to be removed from its original location, but the property was sold and it had to go. So the town of Whitby, who had possession of the house at this point, just gave it to Cullen Gardens because they were like, oh, gotta go. Yeah. Prior to the move, another fire started in the closet on the east side of the house, but it was discovered before causing any extensive damage. So the closet,
an unusual place for a fire to start.
I think at that point somebody probably broke in and started the fire. The closet, adjoining bedrooms, and the roof were damaged. So in 1987, when it got to Cullen Gardens, it was placed on a foundation between the gift shop and the restaurant. And if anybody can recall, it was this big, giant white house. Restoration work was completed in 1987-88, which was restored. The house was restored to an 1855 vintage house with period furnishings.
And creepy animatronic.
Yeah. And then in 2013, it was trucked down to where it currently is. But a funny thing that I did find, and I'm not sure where this information is from, but in 1924, it was bequeathed to the National Sanitarium Association, which is an association dedicated to the treatment of tuberculosis to build and run sanitariums. So it's kind of one of those, what the fuck?
And that was what year?
1924, which is the height.
But it never became a sanatorium.
No, which was the height of the tuberculosis stuff. Right?
So maybe it was just designated as one, but they never actually needed it.
Maybe.
Or maybe it was, and there's just no records of it.
Possibly. I don't know.
Oh.
Now we got lots of information on death dates and stuff from like the Lynde family and the people who had lived there prior, but that's, you know, life. And then we show up.
Yeah. Like almost immediately. To go down.
Yeah, literally. Like we walk in and we kind of look around, then we head upstairs and boom.
Literally, boom, boom. Yeah.
I don't think we really left that part of the house. We were just all there the whole time.
So I have to say, it is a stunning place. Like, I was not prepared for it. I thought, honestly, it was just like a semi-empty building with a couple of like shelves, and they're like, look at the history. And I'd be like, okay, no. Like, if anyone's watching this on YouTube, the picture behind Rachel is the like living room.
The parlor room.
Yes. Stunning. Mm-hmm. Every room had just phenomenal.
So huge.
Yes.
So spacious.
And like you go from room to room to room, and you're just like, oh my God, like each room is just, I can't recommend going there enough. Like it's truly, you aren't ready. And then they have a really cute little gift shop next door, which sells really cute stuff. Anyways, but so yeah, we went up this stunning staircase, and there's like a little sort of landing area with a little seat, and then to the left was a bedroom, which was by far the most active room.
And it was supposed to be the youngest children's room. So the one did take over the house, so
it would make sense. And so we had a REM pod. What else did we put down? Cat balls, I guess, and maybe an EMF. So the REM pod started going off, and we were like, okay, maybe it's just we don't really know. But then it started responding to us, and we'd be like, can you stop that? And it would stop. We'd be like, can you turn it on again? And it would turn on. And it did that all night.
Yeah.
We had so much fun. And then there's a little chair by the fireplace, which you guys call a little figure.
Yep.
It was sitting, and then it would stand up, and then it would walk away, and then it would come back again.
Yeah. And you were like right there too. So we're like, can you give Kaz a high five? And you'd put your hand out, and this little stick figure hand, like arm, went towards yours, which was kind of really, we're like, oh my gosh.
It was very, very, very cute. And then something, I think the music box went off in the parents' bedroom. And then Kathy said something like, oh, is someone in the, like, have you gone into the parents' bedroom now? And the REM pod went off. And she's like, thank you. Can you stop? And the REM pod turned off again. Like, oh my gosh, it was amazing.
And we did do a live. So that can get posted with all of our stuff. So everyone can watch that, because there's a lot. I'm filming the SLS camera with that too at the time, so everyone can see that, and like how everything is like responding to our questions. So whatever is there is quite intelligent.
Yeah. And it never, like, it felt so nice the whole time. I never at any point did I feel like weird. Like, it was a lovely place. I would have slept there in a heartbeat.
Me too.
The beds actually looked pretty comfy.
Yeah. The whole house is very comfy. Like, it was very much, it felt like it was still very much a family home.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And I know Allison was picking up on like a little boy and a little girl sitting on the stairs, like kind of like eavesdropping onto like an adult conversation that was happening below, which is something that probably totally happened.
100%.
Especially when the patriarch of the family was so like, well, he was in the militia, and they were, having all of these, meetings at the house, for people to pick up, supplies, and having the wounded come back and all that. So I'm sure they did sit there and listen and, eavesdrop, and, they were kids. Kids still do that.
Yeah.
Right?
You can definitely tell it's very family orientated, and they have so much information about the family members. And I think I have to start writing down these things that happen before we go. Because I can't remember. I think I was like, I think her name's like Mary.
Yeah.
And she feels like she's a teacher, and she's there, and she loves when the kids come, and she gets to see what's going on. And then the woman who is like the curator there, I was in another room, and I'm like, they have a lot of family pictures. I'm like, who's this woman? And she's like, oh, that's Maria. I forget who she was in line of the family. I think she was like Clarissa's sister, the original Clarissa.
I think
I can't remember.
The daughter, the granddaughter.
Clarissa the third or something.
Jabez. I think she's the granddaughter. It's in our notes, but it's with our posts and stuff. But to think,
Well, she turns out to be a teacher. And the woman's like, oh yes, it makes sense if she was here.
Yeah. And that's like Jay. Jay was like, I see an older man, and I see this pocket watch and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
We did have the pocket watch there, and it was for a gentleman that had a prominent stance in Whitby. He wasn't necessarily connected to the house, but they had his pocket watch. So that was kind of interesting too, right? Like, it was just
we were on fire, because again, you can just feel that family orientation, or like the connectiveness, I guess you should say. It was a really good investigation. Even when we were doing the Estes.
Yeah.
I don't even remember all the stuff.
Neither do I.
Were you under?
I did go under. Allison went under for the live, and then I went under afterwards to see if we could pick up anything different.
And then it's told Kathy and I to go upstairs. And then what happened? And then it said something when we were upstairs that was really relevant, which I can't remember if it was you or Allison who was under. There's no way you would have known that we had gone upstairs. Because remember, when
it was
you're
probably me. Because I
Okay,
don't remember. I don't remember seeing you. I don't remember anything.
must
But
have been then because when you're doing Estes, like you have the blindfolds on, you have the earphones on. Plus, we're in a very carpeted room, so you can't feel creaks or anything.
no.
But we went upstairs, and then whoever was doing the Estes made reference to the fact that it was like, oh, now they're upstairs, like trouble's upstairs, ha ha ha, type thing. And we were like, what is happening? Like, how do you know?
Yeah, I didn't know.
No, but it was really, and
Blindfolded
it's
with a red light.
exactly, it's very funny because we spent most of our time in that one bedroom. The other side of the house, like there's a whole other bedroom,
Hmm.
and
I
then
know.
two other bedrooms.
Two other
We
bedrooms.
barely went there
Two
because
other
we were just
bedrooms,
having
and then
so much fun.
yeah,
The
well, and we have
dining
only
room,
so
we
much
never,
stuff happen on that one side of the house.
yes, like the dining room. I only went in there to put equipment in, but that was it. I don't
Yeah,
think we went in there and did
no,
anything else.
no, and same with the front room. We didn't really do much in there either,
Yeah.
right? That was set up like as the men's room or whatever you want to call it. Like,
Hmm. Oh, but we had a ton of that was where that like piano was and the
mm,
pictures and stuff were.
yeah,
We had like a really high spike on the EMF. At the same time, I think Jay was saying like, oh, I feel like someone's just come in here. And then it spiked. And then a couple of other things happened. I can't remember what happened now. But it was very interesting. And then they were talking about how the stairs weren't supposed to be there.
yeah, yeah. That was one of
Um,
those renovations.
mhm. And so I think we were asking like, oh, do you like the renovations or not like them? And it kind of made reference to the fact that it was like, well, we don't really
Yeah.
like them because they're not true to what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, because like,
But
if you go in there now, all of the rooms are like connected, right? Like there's little
yeah.
tiny like hallways in between each room. And those, back in the day probably weren't there at
Hmm.
all. They weren't connected like that, but they did that when the renovations were done for the apartments. But yeah, it's because you can just walk into it like a continuous circle. Like you're not going in a room
Yeah,
and then in a room. Like they're connected, right? Which is definitely could be why there's a lot of activity because they've got a fucking passageway,
exactly. And
right?
do we know, was it rebuilt to replicate the original home or just a home of that era? Because
I
that's
think it
also
was
another
just a
thing.
home of that era. They put in
Right.
they put back in the grand staircase.
Hmm.
Um, because it would be more representative. It would have looked weird if it wasn't there,
Yeah.
right? So they did all that when they did the renovations back in the 80s, I believe. And yeah, so they tried to turn it back into what it used to look like. But I think with the rooms currently being so big, they were probably more smaller and there were a few
Yeah.
more than what the four upstairs. I'm pretty sure there was probably about 6 or 7 of them because these rooms are so huge. Like
No kidding. Although I suppose when you've got 8 children, you just cram them all in. Look at some
literally,
of
they
the
all slept in
look
the
at
same beds
yeah.
back in the
Well,
1800s.
look at the Keene Hotel. There were like 14 children that were there.
Yeah.
At the very least, I would say at least 10 were all under the same roof, and their room is tiny.
Mhm.
Did they just like have little slots that they slept in?
They all
Like,
slept in the same beds. And then they had trundle beds, which pulled out from underneath the beds. And then they slept in there too. Because
but
they were
10
literally,
kids. Ah,
they were only in the house to sleep. They never stayed in
well,
the house.
that's true.
They were out, working the land or at school or helping mom
Yeah.
or whatever they were doing. So,
And I suppose like winter time, they would have slept down in sort of the kitchen areas by the heat.
no,
Um,
not particularly. They would all sleep in the same bed with the body heat.
well, that works too. But I'm sure in the summertime, they were probably just all outside, like laying under the stars.
Oh, who knows?
Kids, not the parents. Parents be like, get the hell out of here. But anyways, the Lynde
It's
House,
outside.
beautiful. Beautiful. And it is a huge house, regardless of what it looks like inside now. I can only imagine what it would have looked like back in the day.
I wish we could see what it looked like inside back in the day.
Yeah, I'm surprised that there's no pictures and stuff of it.
They don't really, well, they didn't really take pictures back in the 1800s. Very rarely. I think the earliest picture I have of the outside of this house is like 1900s or like late 1800s. So like 1890s or something like that. But
didn't it get renovated like in the 60s? Or was it before then? Because I just would have thought maybe prior to that, someone would have snapped
I
a
don't
shot.
think so, because prior to that they were using it as a like a flop house for the farmhands, right? So they would all just flopped in a room.
Right.
So it probably just stayed the same because they didn't give a shit. They're farmhands, right? Like they're working
Yeah.
in the farms.
Or even like
Give them a
the
place to stay.
tavern and like hotel. How fascinating.
I know. Like I would have loved to seen it. Like just to be
Mhm.
like, wow.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Exactly.
places that I just wish I could have seen. Right? So I don't know. One day.
Yeah. But it is a stunning place.
It's
And I
just like
mean,
it's just like my house here. You've been in my house. Did you know that this house used to be 3 bedrooms?
you told me,
Yeah.
and I was like, where? And you're like, I don't know either. The
No,
closet,
I don't.
the
I don't.
phantom third room that on the ceiling.
Like I
I
said,
don't know.
apparently the only way to get to the bathroom from my house way back before it was renovated was to go through that master bedroom. Don't ask. I don't know what they were thinking back in the day.
I don't know either.
I don't know. All I know is that back in like the early 1900s, 1930s, this was the only house on this fucking street. So whatever.
That's
I
interesting.
know. Things you can
It's
find
like
in a
the
city.
original.
I don't know. I've got
Oh,
not a friggin' idea, but I don't think it's original. But 35 was the only house on this side of the street. Things you find in old city directories, best place to find any information.
yeah. It's really interesting when you get to do, like, I know my house. I contacted Bowmanville and was like, what can you tell me about my house? And the stuff they came back with, I was like, oh my gosh, it was great. I mean, not as good as your stuff,
Nothing
but
is ever good as my stuff. No,
no, I'm like, how did you
some things
find the
no, but
location of the dead body on my property? Like, you're so good at that.
listen, I got dowsing rods. I'll bring them over.
Yes, I have some too, actually. I've never used them.
Oh, good time. Oh my gosh, we should do a whole episode of looking in your backyard for dead bodies.
We should, we absolutely should.
We'll get
Why
Ryan.
not?
We'll totally have Ryan there just in case he can
Listen,
vouch for us.
I have that weird headstone slash stone just creepily in the woods right there that
Yeah.
is perfectly cut into the shape of a headstone just hanging out.
Oh, maybe we should just come over and just do a whole video.
Maybe I should just dig. Just
Yeah.
dig it up and see.
Start digging.
Yeah. It'd be great. I said to Mark, I'm like, do you think this is a headstone? He's like, I'm gonna stop you right there. It's not a
I said
headstone.
not getting into this shit
And I'm
now.
like, then why does it look like it? He's like, it doesn't look like a headstone. And I went into my whole beautiful mind of how it looked like a headstone.
Why then? Why is it in the
And
woods?
yeah. And I'm like, it's so heavy. And I can't, it's now kind of overgrown enough into the tree slash ground that I can't move it to see if there's actually writing on the back. Imagine it was like a whole headstone. It was like, here lies, da, da, da. It just doesn't make sense. It's
Hey,
not a naturally formed rock.
maybe somebody just didn't have the money to get a headstone, and they just put a rock there.
Maybe.
That's what happened. Even nowadays, some
Yeah.
people can't afford, the money to get a headstone, so they still use wooden crosses or
Hmm.
stones and other things, right? So it's still a
Yep.
possibility. I like how we just totally went off track.
I know it happens. It does.
Oh
But
my gosh.
yeah.
So definitely a place I'd like to go back and in fact do a little more investigating. But yeah, so Lynde House Museum. If
Hmm.
anybody has ever been there and they've had an experience or they felt something or you felt something or seen something, because a lot of people say they see the lady standing in the upper window. I didn't see her, so but yeah, but if you've had an experience, we'd love to hear about it. So give us a shout, send us an email, paranormalpodcast@gmail.com. So PAREHNORMAL podcast@gmail.com, or you can post it on Facebook or Instagram or even TikTok. Heck, we're on there too. But yeah, that's it for
And go to the Lynde House.
Yes, go visit
yourself.
and take a tour. It's amazing. Support local history
Yeah.
because that's suffering. It's always been suffering, but just go support it.
Mm-hmm.
Tour because it's super awesome and you'll learn a lot of interesting stuff, like super interesting stuff.
And you'll see the creepy doll coming out of the closet.
My God. Yeah, no
Oh,
animatronics this time. I wish I could find videos of it. My grandfather might have taken videos years and years and years ago. I might have it on VHS somewhere.
I know we came to visit Canada and we went to Upper Canada Village. No, what was it called?
Holland Gardens, a miniature village.
But I don't remember that house. I certainly don't remember creepy things.
Those would be something that you can't forget. Now, I've got some pictures of them that I found, like old postcard pictures. I'll totally have them posted so everyone can see what I was talking about by the mannequins. Come to think of it, they were all women.
Yeah.
No men. I think there was like little boys, but there were no men mannequins. Unless I'm just completely not remembering that part.
We'll have to try and find video. There has to be some sort of promotional video with them in.
They still have them. I should ask them.
Yeah.
Because they still have the mannequins. But yeah. So anyways, next week we have a special guest on. So we will be talking to our special guest. Should be a fun time. So yeah. But we're not going to tell you who the special guest is just yet. You got to tune in to find it out. Whatever. Oh man, I was going to say it's Sunday, but it's not. It's Monday, and I don't think I'm ready to deal with the rest of this week.
I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Neither do I.
Let's go with the flow.
Yeah, me too. Even though this flow is kind of like a crap river, but whatever.
I know. My flow is like, is it bedtime now? Almost.
Yeah, that's like my body's like, yeah, you want to go to bed.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I want to go to bed.
Yeah.
All right, peeps. Until next time.
Have a great week. Enjoy your first week back at school. Second week now. Bye.